buddy Nerdigans. This is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans Inc. And right here is my adorable helper kitty, Seno Asagiri. And today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Spy Family Chapter 102. But before we get into this recap and live reaction, we are at war with YouTube's algorithm, and it is slowly but surely killing my channel. And in order to defeat this algorithmic beast, we need you to please hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because of course this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored, and we ain't sponsored by Shueisha, and we ain't sponsored by Manga Plus, and we ain't sponsored by Viz. And considering how much we promote Manga Plus on this channel, it's kind of surprising, right? But if you love what we're doing and want to help keep me, this adorable kitty right here, he's so cool. He's so cool. And this operation literally alive and kicking, so we can keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be news, analysis, or live reactions like this one. Feel free to hit up our Cash App and PayPal. Links are in the description box below, as well as the link to our Patreon, where we've restarted doing anime live reactions. Because unlike YouTube, where I would be constantly worried about getting a copyright strike for showing anything on the screen, Patreon, I don't have to worry about that, so you guys can actually see my setup with the anime and the manga side by side, as well as get the audio, which, whoo, for 2.5D seduction especially, it is kind of important to have the audio. Oh, yes it is, because we find bad translations that way. Oh, and they're bad. Oh, so please, the more subscribers we get on Patreon, the more anime we'll cover. And maybe we will cover Spy Family as well. I mean, we've been covering the manga since Chapter 3, for fuck's sake. So please go check out our Patreon. The link is in the description box below. So last chapter we saw Martha's strenuous journey home from Westalis. And man, the end of that chapter though, where, you know, we were seeing the guys die on the train, the soldiers die on the train, and that one man proposed to her, but she said, no, I got my husbando at home, and he didn't survive through the night, because I think he was thinking to himself, like, okay, if I know I'm gonna have a wife when I get back, then I'll make myself survive, but getting his heart broken like that, yeah, but now, let's get to this chapter, see what's in store for us today. Returning home alive. Let's see. And, oh, Martha's parents are so happy. Aww. They made her a welcome home dinner. They put her in bed. Okay. Oh, Martha, where are you going? To school? Wait. It's the weekend, so none of the teachers who live off campus are here, dear. It is? I didn't realize it was the weekend. Could it be Miss Marriott? Is that really you? Oh, Mr. Fowler. I knew it. I'm so relieved you made it home safely. Your women's battalion was all over the news. It may bring you some unwanted attention in the days to come. If there's anything I could do to help, don't hesitate to ask. Well, actually... Oh, Mr. Henderson's home address? Uh-oh. Okay, I've marked it on this map for you. He only moved there a short while ago. She's running. She's running to her man's. Oh, she fell. Young lady, are you all right? Oh, thank you. I'm Henry? Martha? It can't be, but you... Henry! I missed you so much. Martha, you're alive. You're alive. You made it back. You made it back. Henry, oh, Henry, for so long, oh, my Henry. Oh, wait, oh, my Henry? Who might this be? Oh, no, it's the wife! She's a student of mine. She just returned from the war. Oh, my, thank you for your service. Henry, why not invite her to dinner? Henry, who is that? That is my wife. What? We just got married 1 month ago. Oh, where are my manners? I'm Henry's wife, Lucia. Oh, the imagery that Tatsuya gives for Martha's world just being destroyed. Oh, Is congratulations. I remember somehow wringing those quavering words out of myself. It hurt me more than any wound I suffered during the war. I just couldn't accept it. I cursed our era. I cursed myself. And with that, my adolescence came to an end. Oh! Also, Tatsuya, I love this. I love how Martha's shattered dreams, her adolescence, which was already like pretty much destroyed. Her childhood was destroyed. How it really came to an end with this reality check that that Henry moved on without her. Oh, that really sucks. Oh, she was telling Becky this. No, no, this sucks. This can't be how it ends, Becky. I know that is all of us. Please get a hold of yourself, young miss. Why didn't you steal him back? Homeworking is a no-no, young miss. But that woman was in fact a very fine person. Her uncle was a distinguished man who was deeply involved in supporting the post-war reconstruction. Thanks to the great efforts of his niece and her new husband, I was able to dance ballet at one of their charity events. Aww. I certainly wasn't happy about being marketed to the organizers as a survivor of the Women's Brigade, and it was vexing not being able to dance as well as I wanted to on account of my injuries. But I got to perform in the theater of my dreams, and I will never forget the warm applause of the audience. It almost felt as if I'd performed in a world where the Marlov ballet still existed, and I had been able to join it. On that stage, I experienced what it meant to feel alive again. Aww! And I was finally able to grasp that I had an entire life ahead of me. And she was there watching, as happy for me as if she had been the one on stage. And while my heart still hurt, it made me very happy that she felt that way. And he loved his wife dearly, just as a husband should. I felt pride in having loved such a good and faithful man. Or at least that's how I was able to feel about it after many years had passed. Oh, I still can't accept that. I know, but it sounds like Henry married a good wifey. I mean, look what she did for her, for Martha. God, if only that stupid war had broken out, you might have been able to have your dreams and your love fulfilled. If all the snooty elites wanted war so much, they should have fought. They should have fought. They shouldn't have dragged innocence into it with them. Young miss, the world is not so simple a place as that. I know. It's full of all sorts of things that interact with each other in very complicated ways. What sorts of things? What do you think? If I knew, I wouldn't have asked. I'm not entirely certain myself. Oh, tired puppy. So what do you mean? Don't be so vague with me. You see, it's the things that we don't understand that make us feel uneasy. I'm sure that's due to some animal instinct deep within us. Oh, I love this panel. With the finger pointing and all that. So we convince ourselves that we do understand things we don't in order to make ourselves feel better. I'm looking at you, Twitter. The people of that country are just plain evil, or it's the elites doing as they please again. Oh, it is both sides of Twitter. Oh. I'm sorry, I have to say it. It's both flocks that do this. Both of them do this. And you know it is true. And maybe it is that simple, maybe it isn't. But latching on to such assertions and persuading yourself of their truths, that's a certain sort of weakness, and it's a dangerous one. It is. She's not wrong. It really is dangerous to latch yourself onto like just one side of the aisle or one flock specifically, and not like think for yourself. Don't be a sheep. No, being a sheep is bad. Thinking for yourself is important. Being an individual is important. I'm going to say this. It's very interesting to see. Like, this is why on Twitter I just post statements with quotes on them, from other people sometimes, because I'm curious how people are going to respond. And it's a very interesting experiment on the responses that I get from people. It just kind of continues to prove that, that justice, I'm saying that good and evil is very subjective. That justice is subjective. It depends on a person's point of view, on a person's experiences. And some of them, let's be real, some of them are, at least from my point of view, anyway. I'm trying to be unbiased here. Some of them are very, what's the wording I'm looking for? Indoctrinated. There we go. That is the right wording. But then there's some that there's some that are just like, you know what? We need to see if there's more, opinions on this to get a consensus. And I'm like, there is still hope. There is still hope for this world when people say this. Including stuff about how to do academic research. That made my life yesterday. You have no idea when someone said that. I was like, thank God people understand. Accepting that you don't know is every bit as important as trying to learn the truth. That is very true. This is accepting that you don't know is every bit as important as trying to learn the truth. But the thing is some people don't want to learn the truth. They don't. They want confirmation bias. That's just how things are, unfortunately. Because, well, critical thinking's been dead for a couple of decades now. I fought in the Second East-West War too, and even after that I didn't understand anything at all. Just what battlefields are. Tragic and miserable places. That was the only truth I knew for sure. Wait, what? You went back to war after you barely survived the first one? So the first one was during World War I, because she said she went back for the second. So what we saw was World War I. Interesting. He was furious too and said the exact same thing. Of course, I was quite conflicted about myself. Enough with the mystery. Tell me who he is. You said he taught at Eden, right? Is he still there? Do I know him? Wait, it isn't Mr. Hen. It is a goof to fry, young miss. Ooh, it was. Everyone has things they wish to remain secret, do they not? Except that you don't know. Ooh, what? Hey, where are you going? I have a bit of an errand to run today. Oh, Martha. Hello, Henry. So you've come as well. And with flowers like every year. Thank you. I bring them because it pleases me to do so. Can you believe it has been 15 years? How time flies. With all these wrinkles, it has certainly left its mark on us. The passage of time is a cruel thing. There are some things that never change. You being a terrible dancer, for example. Ooh, what? I thought myself much improved since the days of long ago. But I'll grant that you're still every bit as cheeky as you were back then. Lovely weather today, If you're free afterward, would you care to join me for some tea? Oh, that sounds nice. If the blend's not too bitter, I'll have a cup. Have gone through happy and sad times. Aww. What a good way to conclude this backstory. It is. And I like that she's telling it to Becky, because I feel like, again, something I've been saying throughout all this is that I feel like it's going to come into play specifically for not just Anya and Damien, but also for Yor and Lloyd as well, because at some point they're going to have to flee to Westalis, and I feel like it's going to be when the truth about Anya comes out. It's got to be that. But man, let's talk about this backstory as a whole. Hold on a second. This is being really stupid. Okay, let's talk about the backstory as a whole and also kind of compare it to what we've seen with Lloyd's backstory specifically, because both of them have very interesting perspectives on the war. So with Martha, I really wish we kind of would have seen what happened with Martha during the Second World War. I'm kind of sad that that's not going to happen, but as she said, sometimes you're just not going to know the truth. But we could speculate. We could always speculate. But I thought this backstory was really, really good. I really do. I love this. I'm such a sucker for love stories like this. I am. I'm a hopeless romantic. I really am a hopeless romantic like that. But we saw how they found love, we saw that Martha, even though Martha went all through that shit, she got to, achieve her dream. Definitely came true to an extent, that she got to dance on the stage and do ballet. And it was thanks to Henderson's wife, who obviously that's who they're placing flowers on her grave. God, that's such an interesting twist, isn't it? I like that. So I like that we did get confirmation that, because I think all of us were theorizing that this was happening during World War II, but no, it was during World War I. It kind of makes sense, given how old they are. But yeah, it does make more sense that this was during World War I. We had, and they mentioned, she did mention the Reconstruction era. So yeah, this is definitely definitely being in World War I, and then going into World War II, it definitely makes sense. But seeing her experience that heartbreak was just beautiful. It was different than, say, Lloyd when he got his reality check. When he learned about the truce of war, that's still my favorite chapter of Spy Family. I don't know if anything is going to top that. Even though, yes, that confession was freaking, the dance and the confession was cute. That was. But man, that Lloyd chapter, it just gives me chills thinking about it. But like from start to finish, this backstory, I like that we got both sides of the backstory. I like seeing the changes that we saw especially like for Henderson. Henderson was about being proper, about manners and all that, and being a gentleman. But after seeing what happened with Martha, it completely changed. And I like his perspective on things. I like what he stood for, that he was all about education being the key to stopping war. To an extent, that is true. It is. The more people are educated on something, the better it is. But as we saw in the backstory, the government wants to, and we see it in One Piece too, actually, as well. The government wants to suppress the truth. They do, because they want to control the population. They want to have it fit their propaganda. And that's why I get a little frustrated with people. It's like, dude, you have and I'm going to keep saying it here because this is a good lesson. And I feel like Tatsuya's kind of, in a way, low-key saying this to all of us, is how important history is. Because, when, if you don't learn from the mistakes of the past, you're doomed to repeat them. And that's going to come into play. I know, Kitty, I know. Yes, I will tell them, Kitty. I was getting to that. That's why I've been saying specifically, theorizing specifically about Yor and Lloyd and Anya and Damien, is they want to prevent the same mistakes of the past from happening. They don't want to see, especially in the case of Anya and Damien, Becky doesn't want to see them separated. No, because especially after hearing this story, she doesn't want them to end up like Martha and Henderson. No. And Henderson and Martha, Henderson probably doesn't want that either, regardless. And then there's also Becky in regards to Yor and Lloyd. She probably sees that as like, oh, yeah, I don't want to see that. She's the hopeless romantic that I think she is. Maybe it's just me projecting, but I feel that's, and also we did get the stuff with Black Belt, the connection to Black Belt Industries and Martha. I thought that was sweet too. That was how Black Belt really did save her life. I thought that was a really nice touch too. But I'm very curious how you think everything is going to come to play. Because with backstories, and I've realized this, for example, I gotta compare this to Boku no Hero Academia, because I'm still mad about the erasure that has happened with Stain specifically. I've spoiled it, but you have to deal with it. Is that, and Knuckle Duster too, is that in the backstory for Stain in Vigilantes, you find out how he became Stain, and it was thanks to Knuckle Duster, you know, and what he said to him. And that ends up coming into play in Boku no Hero Academia when Stain when Stain gets All Might back up on his feet. That's what I mean by this, in terms of looking at a backstory and how it's going to come into play. That's what is happening here, in my opinion, is that we're going to see this come into play for Anya and Damien and Yor and Lloyd. So those people that are bitching about this backstory and want to get back to the Forgers, they really don't understand how significant this backstory is going to be. That place where, for example, that place where Martha was, and also that if she still has that map, she's gonna give them that map, and they're gonna go to that village in Westalis. They're gonna take that same route to Westalis and get out of there that way. That's just a little bit of an example here. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, what you guys think about not just this chapter, but Martha's and Henderson's backstory as a whole. I think it's so heartbreaking. This is a heartbreaking reunion. But man, it's just, that twist though, man, on how great his wife ended up being in helping her achieve her dreams. But there's again that similarity between Lloyd and Martha, where both of them lost something and had that reality check snap them into reality. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. Love what we're doing. I want to help keep this operation alive and kicking so we can keep bringing you more Spy Family content. A few ways you can do that: donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something off our Amazon wishlist, all that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend us on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Until next time, I'm going to deal with a very, very fussy kitty who's trying to knock things off of my desk at the moment. Until next time, I will be seeing you later. Bye.